Today is November 5th, 2024. I was in Walmart Alliance by the front vegetable aisle. Some ladies came in. They said, they're saying that Will did all this, Agent Will did all this just to steal from the case. Yeah, they've been saying that the whole time. I was out with my friend, and I pointed at the Wendy's out in Alliance. I said I was in that Alliance with a Dahab on December 2nd, 22. Some guys come in and we're talking. Is that the one that church tried to have killed? He said, yes. I heard she didn't get any money out of this. He said, no, it's the one guy from the case stole every dime of it since the first day. Okay? In May or June of 19, there was a girl named Michelle and Lauren. They rode with the big truck guys, the human traffickers. They were in Louisville, Giant Eagle parking lot. Was yelling out that they were stealing everything for them. Okay? I've been showing up telling everybody that they are stealing for them. Okay? October 4th, 23, Maslin. They pull up next to me and scream it out that Will promised us all the money. He is stealing it for us. Well, October 6th, 23, I'm in Walmart 62 by the grocery aisle. Women walk in and said those girls that are saying they stole everything for them. And one of them's supposed to be that agent's girlfriend, or one of the guys from the case's girlfriend. And he's been stealing all kinds of money for her. By Sunday, I was in Kohl's in Belden in the evening. Okay? Some lady walks in and said, I found out that Will's supposed to be driving around keeping her safe. He's been stealing all kinds of money for some girl. I want him to find out who she is. Last summer, I was up in Akron, and my client's neighbors about 2 or 3 houses down, they had told that they were up there saying how that agent was stealing for them. November 20th, 23, first thing in the morning, 2 women are admitting he took a payoff and he stole my money in Walmart 62 again. January to March of 19, in the mall, they were talking. Could write a bestseller on what happened. A paid off dirty agent, a man trying to kill his wife, and men being shot at running. It'd be a bestseller. I call it Karen's Prayers. She's amazing. And the other lady's like, I'd like her to speak when this is over. They were part of a domestic violence group, or trying to help protect me. That's where I got the name of my videos, Karen's Prayers. January to March of 19, in Belden Village. Well, it's just like this morning I went down to Walmart 62 and some idiot women were in there and they were laughing at me. She lost some weight, but she still wasn't what those people wanted. Thank God. They're human traffickers. They would have sold me for a sex slave or to be murdered. Thank God they didn't want me. So I didn't pass the test again. Good. Good. Yay. It's the human traffickers doing it. That's where this whole thing is absurd. It was a drug cartel in my home. These people lied to people that it was an attorney doing it. I was in Marks in Hartville. On Monday, some guy walks in. He's on the phone on a speaker talking to some guy. You tell that attorney I didn't think it was funny them having those people break in and drug her up and do all those things to her. Was no attorney. Give me a name. I'll own them. So will my family. Give me a name. Because they don't get special permission. I went to Abigail Watkins, Portage County Prosecutor's Office in like November of 2020. They didn't know about any of this. And what you people are saying you did. You didn't get permission from the courthouse. Neither did the Portage County Sheriffs or the Ravenna Police. Dave hired Pete on his own, a local drug dealer. They just been running around lying to everybody. April 28th, 24, Walmart on the Strip. I walk in, some guy's on the phone with somebody and says, I listened to the recorded line. That agent did admit to telling on her before, and he did talk to her like that. They better do something about it. I go by the canned veggie aisle. Officer in uniform shows up. Karen, we all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel. And it was a drug cartel in your home before. And we all know that guy told on you before. I want to know how he heard it and he took off. Over by the ladies' clothing aisle. There's a guy. Now, there was a guy named Kurt in 18 and 19 that was helping out with all this. Okay? And in May of 21. Now, Melissa's kids on Thanksgiving of 18 had stated in a legally bugged house that they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Pepple. And then later on the floor, they made everything up. Okay? Police even announced it in Walmart. That Melissa's so stupid, she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. And why are they having all those kids make all that shit up? Oh, they just want to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. Okay? My part of the case was over by Thanksgiving of 18. Okay? Well, in May of 21, I had went out of town. I was in Pennsylvania. Some girl looked at her phone and said, oh my goodness, Kurt just found out those kids were lying. I'm like, Kurt's slow. They said they were lying on Thanksgiving of 18. He's slow, right? I know my car's bugged. I know the police watch me. And I would go sit outside the Stark County Sheriff's. And I've lived through so much. It's hard to get out of the car, and they can already hear me. And I went down, and I sat there, and I'm like, well, if Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he's slow, right? It's been 2.5 years. Two of the sheriffs walk out, yell out, if Kurt just found out all those kids were lying, he is slow. I started laughing. Well, he tells everybody to stay out of it. He's on the phone with him. He's like, Kurt, none of this is funny. They have that agent on a recorder line admitting he told on her before. Okay? They also have these people taped that they made everything up on her before. And they also have that agent taped that he was in it with Dave and stole her money. None of this is funny. Everybody stay out of it. December 14th, 23, 4:45 p.m. My car's bugged. I have police officers and plane vehicles all around me. This white guy walks out of McDonald's with a lady and a little kid. Karen's Will's here today. I came down to make sure she got no money out of this. I told Dave I set her up and I stole her money. They all slammed on the brakes. I had to go take care of a client, went home, got a shower, and I was going to work a midnight shift out in Hartville. Okay? Off in the distance when I show up in Hartville, they're out there yelling. We told that guy, none of this is funny. We taped him. He was in it with Dave and stole her money. And we know she don't know who he is. And that none of this is funny. By Sunday, I was out in Alliance. A lot of people didn't show up to harass me. And some lady said, Officer Mark told everybody to stay out of it. He taped the agent over her case. He stole her money and he was in it with Dave. And none of this is funny. December 13th, 23, 4:45 p.m. Okay? They said that was spooky. Agent, okay. Well, going back to April 28th, 24, in Walmart on the Strip, after that guy says that to Kurt, I go to the front aisle, and there's Pam with her granddaughter. Now, Pam and Jack quit going to Lighthouse years ago. Right before they got married, his sister Debbie had quit going to church, and Strange was telling everyone that she was going out to all these bars, she was some kind of whore, okay, making up all kinds of gossip on her. She showed up to a Wednesday night service before the wedding. He basically calls her a whore from the pulpit. She runs out crying. Well, they already paid for their wedding. They had their wedding on Saturday, and they didn't come back. So her mom and dad, Ronnie and Joanne, were still going to that church. And they come visit with their kids. And I knew of their kids, but I didn't know them because they didn't go there. Okay? So when we started going up to Pamers, we'd see them. They come up and they say hello, polite conversation, see their kids. But I don't even think I said hello. They just came up, a couple minutes of polite conversation. Okay? So think about this. We don't know our grandkids. We don't know her kids. Okay? Pam walks by with her granddaughter. Uncle Dave. Now, he's had to be around that grandkid a lot for it to call it Uncle Dave. Said, Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. Who the cops say it was cartel? Well, the other guys say it's all made up. Okay? Oh, they'll verify it. I walk out, investigators working the case bust out laughing. Bust out laughing. It took her long enough to confess she was in it with Dave with those stocking tapes. Her family was already linked to the following and rending, and now she's in it with the stocking tapes. Her kids better never verify it. The police already have them taped that they defended her. They didn't know anything about this. And they have these people taped. They made everything up on her. They photoshopped everything and drugged her and told her to say it before. That means they were in it with Dave the whole time to cover up murder. Attempted murder. Everybody's scattered. Now, I want you to think that she's an RN nurse since she was young. Jack is an electrician. They made over $300,000 a year. And to have a victim, drug, beat, and raped, found out Dave was dating their daughter, Savannah, one of his many girlfriends, and they were willing to harm somebody and they make that kind of money. How sick and disgusting they are. Do you realize that makes them child molesters? These people have admitted to selling kiddie porn and my grandkids going potty. They admitted they were having, where I had bruises I couldn't explain, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, muscle pains, giant bruises, and then a severe personal infection. They were having me drugged up and told to say stuff and having me beat and raped. And they were selling kiddie porn and my grandkids going to potty and all of us on porn sites, and they admitted to photoshopping a shower scene and drugging me and telling me to say stuff. And they were a part of having people violated to steal from them. That's sick. See, that goes back to where Dave, we had our house up for sale in like March of 18. I had a little bit of time for I was going to show it. And I said, I got over an hour and a half. I'm going to go out to Bald and get some coffee. Well, Karen, let me know when you're ready. I said, give me 10 minutes. I went to leave. He said, Karen, I want you to go to Lincoln Way. I said, why would I want to go Lincoln Way? I go down to Bailey behind Watson or Bailey to Genoa. Why would I want to go Lincoln Way? He said, Karen, I said, go Lincoln Way. And they start screaming at me. I said, fine, I'll go Lincoln Way. I've lived there 25 years. I went there and it was open. It's like, sweet. I jumped 5 lanes. There's a car at the next road, Avis. And I thought, well, I'll get in the other lane. No, it jumped 5 lanes, gets right behind me. I move over. He moves over. I go down to turn at Genoa. He goes to turn and it clicks in my head. He screamed at me to go this way, and he already told a cop he knew where the security system was when we had attempted break-in. I'm going to turn and go back. And if he's following me, I'm going to call 911. If not, he'll keep going. Or find somebody home. I just got a bigger black SUV. I had my foot on the brake. The wheel turned left. One car goes by. Two cars goes by. He hits me and rams me on the side and goes in between me and a building, got stuck. I called 911. The Perry police shows up and said, the way he hit you, he was doing over 45, and he would have rolled you if you wouldn't have had your foot on the brake. Okay? And he said, I can't let you go home alone. I know he's up to something and I can't prove it. Well, they had me pull over, and he called Dave, and he had told Dave he couldn't let me go home alone. Well, that the officer came up and said, I'll let you know he don't even have a driver's license. He's got his grandparents' car. Well, these people show up, and they're out there screaming like nutbags. Can we say it's her fault? Well, no, idiots. He was stalking me, and he was driving with no license. He followed me, and he rammed me and tried to roll me. No, it's not my fault. Well, within a day or two, I go over to Danny and Jen's, and Kaylee's over there. And she's like, well, you know about Savannah. I said, Savannah? She's a little 18-year-old kid, sits with her parents. I know of her, but I don't know her. She said, what do you mean you don't know her? I said, why would I? She's a little 18-year-old kid that sits with her parents. Dave's old enough to be her grandfather. And I said, I know of her, but I don't know her. And she said, what do you mean you don't know her? I said, why would I? Her parents went to that church a long time ago. They come visit. I know of her kids, but I don't know them. What do you mean you don't know her? Why would I? And she's looking at me like this. Why would I? She said, well, you know that little girl's baby daddy? He's really big in drugs. I said, what does that have to do with anything? She's looking at me like I'm stupid. Hello, cartel? See, I didn't know Dave was dating her. They ought to be ashamed. I'm going to upload this. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. People calling me ugly. People making fun of me. And then people going along with the drug scam that even Lighthouse Tabernacle made fun of FBI Agent John June 7th, 23, 10:11 in the morning. FBI Agent John fell for the stunt I tasted for. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent fell for that? You're kidding. It was only a stunt. You mean John fell for it? That FBI agent John actually fell for a stunt I tasted for that was only a stunt? Had me drug, beat, and raped, drugged up and told to say stuff. Photoshopped washing and stocking tapes. Sold my family on porn sites. Had men rape me under drugs, so I would be so stoned out of my mind that I wouldn't even remember the assault. You wake up with bruises all over you, throwing up, heart racing, severely infected, and almost passing out. You think it's funny doing that to a victim? It's satanic. Is that what's going on? FBI Agent John fell for the stunt I tasted for. Lighthouse Tabernacle and the cartel made fun of him. Last year, last of September, 1st of October, some of the drug dealers were watching me. I was up in Akron, down the way from my clients. Some guy yells out, how dare that family say a word to her? That idiot killed that kid. A lady and a guy walks by and said some of the drug dealers they hired to watch her, they don't even find it funny. She do anything wrong? No, they made fun of the FBI for falling for this. And they already confessed they photoshopped everything on her before. None of this is funny. Are they going to do anything about it? We don't know. But none of this is funny. I went to her ex-husband, asked if those doctors ever said it was a medication error that made her sick before. He said yes. And they did tell them to sue those doctors. He didn't say a word and let all those people hurt her. None of this is funny. Who hurt somebody in the first place? and demonic, satanic people. Satan possessed, like people that work the case, they're godless. I'm going to upload this.